Failed this podcast.
Hey guys, welcome to the 8-Bit Apocalypse, where we talk about nerdy death and weird things. Today we're going to be covering a few topics like MMOs, The Flash, and a few other things. So let's get started. Guys, I've got True Hegemon and Nate with us. We should be ready to roll.
All right, guys. So this is our first actual episode. The last one that kind of crapped out on us didn't really work so well. So don't expect that one to see up. But we might be referencing things from that. So just be aware. Aside from that,
We'll call it a secret episode.
What have you guys been watching,
With a
playing
shadow.
games, anything interesting in your life? Nate, if you want to start out.
Some quick reviews. Mad Max is awesome. Go see it. Ex Machina is a good sci-fi movie. Go see it. Pitch Perfect 2. If you like the first one, you'll like it. And Poacher Guys is terrible. Skip it. There you go.
Any other games or anything you've been
Well, that
playing?
was a lovely summer, Nate.
There's an awesome Kickstarter going on.
Oh, we can get to that because I got a feeling that you're gonna talk about Bloodstain.
Yeah, we'll talk about that a little later. And then I've been playing a couple games on my DS, but we'll probably talk about that later too if you want.
What about you, Cage?
Well, I picked up The Wolf Among Us, and I've really been enjoying it. It's a unique style to game. It's like you're watching the comic book unfold. And Telltale Games is really awesome about how they put those together. The story unfolds in twists that I just have yet to see coming.
Yeah, I really like that one. I think that's my favorite out of all the Telltale games, at least the new ones.
It's actually
I'll
based
definitely
off a comic book. It's called Fables. Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't read the comic books yet. I'm definitely gonna start getting into those, considering they're not very expensive.
No, you can buy the hardcovers pretty cheap.
So how far are you now?
I'm about halfway through, and I don't want to give you spoilers.
No, that's
Yeah,
okay.
a
I
very
love the fighting.
spoiler-heavy game.
It's okay as long as you're light with it. It's fine. Most people have already played that game by now. We'll give the same spoiler warning that we would have given in our first episode. Is that we're gonna talk about spoilers on here. So when we say spoiler, just either skip ahead, pay attention, mute your mic, come back. But we're gonna definitely talk about spoilers once in a while. But we'll give you a warning first.
Surprise.
So anyways, so chapter 2, that's past, unfortunately, the Little Mermaid part of the game, which is, and when you start meeting,
The boobs were unexpected.
it's really hard not to label that part of the game with what
approve.
happens there. Ariel, what happened?
That's my sister's
I
name.
think your
And
decisions
she's
in that
pregnant.
game actually make them. What was that? Sorry.
You're fine.
Oh man. Now that game's really good. I like how you have to do little detective things and the interrogation scenes, and it feels a bit more original than all the other Telltale games. I've played all of the new ones except for Walking Dead Season 2. And I gotta say that one is definitely my favorite. I'd say on the low end though, I definitely put the Game of Thrones one. The Game of Thrones one's definitely not my favorite.
That one's gotten a lot better though.
The storyline's good in it. The problem is that when you play it next to any of the other Telltale games, it's brown. That's my review for that game. It's brown. Even in the TV show, the show is not brown.
Yeah, it's.
I don't know why it's
very,
so brown.
Its color palette's not the best.
I mean, The Walking Dead takes place
Borderlands
inside
one's
of
complete opposite.
a urban environment, and it's about zombies, and it's mostly gray, but at least it's not all gray. There's a lot of green and yellows and different colors and like signs in the background. But for some reason, Game of Thrones, they chose brown, and they just ran with it. But aside from that, it's still Telltale.
Dan, don't you understand?
I don't know about that. I don't know if just choosing brown is artistic. That's like taking a crap and going, that's art.
Hey, there are some poops to be proud of.
There's some poops to be proud of. That's pretty funny. Um, my other
Yeah,
favorite one
I
is
was gonna say Wolf Among Us.
Disgusting.
my other favorite one is the
I was gonna say,
Borderlands one.
Yeah, that one's funny. My just one quick point. I also like Wolf Among Us because I feel like your actions in that game actually affect the entire game as a whole more than the other
Yeah.
Telltale games.
It really feels like it matters.
Like yeah, it really does.
The,
Kind of a
the ending of
nice
the game.
Old Republic where your choice it affected how the outcome was, and I really, really enjoy that about it. And it really makes it feel like those old point-and-click adventure games, like Full Throttle, where you had to do the detective work, figure out the puzzles, keep moving forward with the storyline, or just chug at it until you do.
Yeah.
Well, what else you been into?
Well, I finished Grow Home. We touched on that last episode. Even when I thought it was the end, it sprung a surprise on me. And I was like, all right, you enjoyed this game. You have the opportunity to keep playing it. We need these things. Do some side quests. And I was like, that's a nice little bumper feature. I approve. Especially for a little side project that got very little attention.
Yeah, that looks really neat. I'm gonna have to jump into that eventually.
Yeah, I mean, it's something you can 100% in a few hours.
Which is fine, because not everybody wants a game that's like The Witcher that's 200 hours long. Amazing game, but it's a time commitment.
Yeah. That's why I'm like determining, should I rent you? Would I get enough out of you to justify me maybe buying you in a couple days?
Well, anyways, for me, Street Fighter just came out yesterday. Street Fighter 4 on PS4. So I haven't really got a chance to jump into it. Yeah, I turned it on earlier and did like 2 matches, just so I would have something to talk about it. 60 frames per second definitely helps. I know the PC versions already was running at 60 frames a second because that's pretty much expected with a PC port. But I've never bought any of the DLC aside from the Ultra upgrade for the game, so it's really nice having all the costumes and at the same time all the characters at the same time, and then also playing it on PS4, and the fact that they integrated the Skullgirls developers arcade stick drivers. I can plug in my PS3 arcade stick and actually just use that instead of having to use the PS4 controller, which is something I don't always like using for fighting games, because even though the controller is amazing for most games, it's not always the best for fighting games. Due to the D-pad being kind of
wear out the controller.
It depends on who you are. I mean, if you're a button masher, it will. But I mean, but even so,
That's me.
I would definitely rather use my PS3 controller. And as soon as I get a better adapter, because my current one really stinks, I'm going to get another PS2 adapter. It supports wired PS2 controllers as well. The drivers do. So I'll be able to.
It does.
Yeah, I'll be able to use my PS2 controllers, which is what I learned how to play fighting games on in the first place, was the PS2 controllers. And I have my PS2 arcade stick and my PS2 fight pad, so I got plenty of options to play the game on once I get that.
Nice. How much is that, by the way?
Ultra or
the thing? Yeah.
It's
on the PS4.
It's $25. That's it. It's digital only though, which it kind of bothered me because I had forgot it was a digital only game when I went to go go to GameStop to trade in the game for it. Because I was like, I opened up in my fighting game collection, I opened up a special spot on the shelf just for Street Fighter 4 for my PS4, and yeah, it's digital, so it's not going in that spot.
That's lame.
Maybe I'll take like one of my old Street Fighter 4 cases that I have laying around, and I'll cut the picture and put it in a PS4 case just so it can sit on my shelf and look all lame. But that's about it. Aside from that, I played Mortal Kombat, got a little project on Minecraft for PS4 going, but mostly just a lot of PS4.
Yeah, I've been playing Minecraft too.
So yeah.
Oh, now I've also been playing Shovel Knight. That's been fun.
So just like onto the next topic. We were talking about Kickstarters and awesome Kickstarters. And I know that Nate, you're excited about Bloodstain, and Jareth, you're excited about Star Citizen, which I think you and about 37,000 other people are.
Oh, I think we're like up to 1 million people expecting the game.
Both very
It's
interesting games.
crazy.
If you guys want to just take turns and talk about them, that way anybody that
I'll
doesn't
let
already
Jareth
know
go
about them,
first.
just give us a little introduction about them.
Oh gosh, Star Citizen, that's such a huge topic. I guess to start with the basics, it's an open world game where there's no particular RPG elements where you can build yourself up. It's all based on what you can do as a player. You make your avatar and you go. Um, the world isn't like, oh, complete this quest, move on, level up. There's no classes. There's no. It's like a simulation of real life, about as well done as you can do it. They say, hey, you're a person, you've got a ship. What do you want to do with your life? Are you going to be a pirate? Go get a tractor beam for your ship and then just go start harassing other players. Take their ships, junk them, do what you can. Or if you're going to be a transporter, you're just going to have a company where you maybe hire 2-3 other players and you develop your own business. That business turns into an empire. You are now the mass marketing king of transportation. Whatever your forte is, racing, drag racing. If you're an FPS guy, you can be a ground insurgent player. Go do missions where you're raiding a base of pirates. Attack another guild. It is a main PvP type world. Now there are NPCs where you can dock your ship, work on it, find little garages, little shops where you can get guns, parts for your ships, or personal upgrades. Currently, they have, if you are a donator and you've purchased one of their ships, which range from like $20 to $300, you can take your ship and you go out and you can fight other players in a little dogfighting module. At PAX last year, they only previewed the first-person shooter, but they're saying that should be coming out next 6 months or so. So I'm really excited about that because they were displaying some of the zero-grav FPS capabilities. And it's just like, how do you tell who is who? And you're similarly colored and you're both wearing spacesuits and one's flying up there and hiding behind steam. You're like, is that an ally or a pirate? Well, taking the gamble. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah, I'm looking at the Kickstarter. Interesting. So it's kind of
Now,
like
go to robertspaceindustries.com.
Yeah,
So if
it
you go to
sounds like what a Star Trek
robertspaceindustry.com,
game should be.
well, back in the day when he was developing games in the 1980s, early 1990s, he developed Wing Commander, and at that time, that's all the technology would allow him to make. So now that it's a new day and age, there's the modern computers. He's like, now I can make the game I want to make when I made Wing Commander. It's not going to be limited interactions.
Okay.
It's not going to be limited choices. You're now free to have your own space adventure. You are your own Firefly.
That's pretty cool, though. I'm down for sci-fi games because, as I said before, No Man's Sky is definitely the sci-fi game that I'm looking forward to right now. I'm hoping it's as good as my imagination is. But Star Citizen sounds pretty amazing,
one of the
too.
downers of Star Citizen right now. If they can master the planet to atmosphere to space transition without having to do a cinematic, without having to go through a docking cinematic, just let the player control it all, it would do so much for the game.
And
that's one of the things.
And that's what that's exactly what No Man's Sky is accomplishing, is that you literally just fly down to the planet.
Yeah. looks
So we'll
and
see if they
sounds
can
interesting.
produce the final product, which we should be expecting in the next the late 2016 year.
Well, the Wing Commander games were a pretty big deal when they came out, so.
Well, there's a reason that this game has already been funded $86 million.
But its Kickstarter's been open for a really long time. Even though, I mean, that's a lot of money, and
Yeah.
there's no doubt that it definitely deserves it. But the Kickstarter's been open for a very long time, and that's what really helps it. Is that it's an open-ended
Yeah, not only
Kickstarter,
that,
but I'd
it
say
looks
it's the
like-
most successful open-ended Kickstarter.
Yeah.
Without a doubt.
I can tell you about another
So,
one that's
tell us
pretty
about that
successful. All right, so Koji Igarashi, if you guys don't know, is the mastermind behind the Castlevania series. If you haven't heard, Konami's been kind of going down in their video game department, and people have been leaving. Koji was one of them that left, and most recently, Hideo Kojima, who created the Metal Gear Solid series, has left as well. And the creator of the Silent Hill franchise also left like several years ago. So, Koji decided to put up a Kickstarter for a game called Bloodstained: The Ritual of the Night, and it's a like the predecessor of the Castlevania, Metroidvania styled games, and it looks great. And he got the original composer to come back that composed a majority of the music. He got the artist that did like Symphony of Night, Aria of Sorrow, Harmony of Dissonance to do the box art for his Kickstarter. People they all get a physical copy if you pledge a certain amount. And it looks like a Castlevania game, but without Dracula and well, not necessarily no vampires, so we don't know yet. But it's dealing with alchemy, which is kind of neat. And there's like this virus that's going around with this alchemy where by using it too much, this kind of alchemy too much, your body starts to become stained glass, which is kind of neat. Yeah, he pledged for $500,000, and it's about to hit $3 million. So
Well,
he's not having
wasn't his
trouble,
original
but
goal
if you want
just
to
to
pledge
find a
to it,
developer, though?
Yeah, the original Kickstarter went up just to find a producer, and it wasn't 100% clear on that, and a lot of people got angry about it. But he's later came forward that now this is now funding the game 100%, and it is not just for finding a producer, which is good. And on top of that, his original goal was only $500,000. That's what the craziest part is. And it's up to $2.7 million right now. That's just insane.
Yeah, if he makes it to 3, it will be on the Wii U as well. He also got David Hayter, the voice of Solid Snake, is going to play the voice for a character in the game. So that's cool. It looks great. I can't wait for it. It's going to be on the PS4, so I can play it. Yeah, it's really exciting. Yeah, big Castlevania fan, so I'm curious. I'll put money down right now. I'll buy you guys lunch if I'm wrong, but I guarantee within 2 years, Kojima is going to be starting a Kickstarter.
Yeah, a lot of people think that he's going to team up with Del Toro for either an indie Silent Hill-esque game that's based off of PT. You never know. They might even just call it PT because technically Konami doesn't own the rights to the PT name. And then a lot of people, there are rumors flying around that he might be buying the rights to Silent Hill off of Konami, and that's in the.
Oh, I would love that so much.
That's in the crazy rumor mill section of the people with the aluminum on their heads, but I wouldn't read too much into it.
Yeah, but I see him doing a predecessor to the PT thing. That'd be cool.
Yeah, I would like that. Now, the Kickstarter I'm the most excited about, which
Yeah.
you guys already know, is River City Ransom Underground. They're already funded. Their Kickstarter's already over. So the support is purely emotional support now. But I can't wait for that game to come out. The moment that hits PC on Steam, because they only kickstarted it up to the Steam release. The moment that hits Steam, I'm buying the crap out of it, and just to support them. Because if they end up selling enough copies on Steam, it'll be on a console. And the moment it hits a console, I'm buying it again. So, because River City Ransom is one of the best beat 'em up games ever made, and just that one little 40-second gameplay clip he put on YouTube made me want to buy the game like a million times.
I know, it's so good. We need more River City Ransom in our life. That's actually my third favorite NES game of all time. So
it's one NES game I unfortunately do not own. I need to get a copy.
Massive collection.
Yeah, I need to get a copy of that.
It's not that the game's rare. I've actually never really seen a physical copy.
It's because the people that own the game don't sell it. Like if you.
Because it's great.
It's like dodgeball on the NES, like the dodgeball game that they made. You just don't find it.
Well, you find Nintendo World Cup. That's a good game as well.
Yeah, you find Nintendo World Cup everywhere.
The same character models. That game's awesome as well.
I'll tell you how crazy the guy that did River City Ransom is. It was originally a licensing dispute between the developer or the producers that helped him, and actually some of it was Nintendo too, that was giving him trouble. He ended up buying all of their rights for River City Ransom, just so he could make that game for the Kickstarter. So
yeah, because they weren't making it.
So I'm super excited because the last River City Ransom game to come out was the Game Boy Advance port of the first game, or remake of the first game, which was really good, but it lacked multiplayer.
Yeah, that was the only problem with it. I was like, why is there no multiplayer?
The RPG level up system they introduced in that one was amazing.
Yeah, it was in the original game.
But they refined it really. Yeah, they completely refined it. Plus the jousting traffic cones. Jousting traffic cones all day.
Yes! The best weapon ever. Such a good game. And it looked great, too. There's also, wasn't there one on, it didn't come out in the States, but wasn't there one on the Super Nintendo?
Yeah, you just got to have a translation guide to play it, or a translated version of it or something, because it didn't come out in America, but it's really good, but it has a different art style. It's not the same little chubby guys art style.
Not the same.
Yeah, they're like more adult looking, but it's still really good. It's the same general idea. It has much more of a story than the NES game by far, because you actually have to go to high school for like one day in the entire game, and then stuff happens, and then you have to fight street gangs. But there's like portions of the game where you're going up and down different floors and talking to people and doing like actual like little quests and stuff around town to help to like for the street gangs and stuff, and you learn about all the different gangs. But the game takes forever to beat, especially if you're not actually having a translated version of the guide. You're guessing where you need to go. But it's very good.
I like all the different food you can eat in the original game.
Oh yeah. Yeah, that's a sweet game.
It looks delicious.
If I owned River City Ransom, I'd be playing that right now.
You got a health upgrade. What? Okay. So yeah, there's some pretty good Kickstarters out there, guys. So.
Yeah, the Kickstarters are worth checking out.
You can't fund one of them, unfortunately. Sorry, River City.
Yeah, it's a shame. I mean,
you can still...
Go for it.
You got to be really careful about what you're choosing to invest in, because there's a lot of people who are trying to scam people.
Oh my god, I wish I knew the name of that guy.
Really do your research in your producers and who's doing it. Dan, go ahead and talk about.
I can't remember the name of that guy, but if I can remember the name of the guy, I know he's notorious on some website, but he opened up a Kickstarter. Oh. You know who I'm talking about, Nate. He opened up a Kickstarter for a racing game, and then he in the process of making this racing game, he opened his Kickstarter, closed the Kickstarter, and then he started releasing his developer blogs. It started 1 week at a time, then 2 weeks at a time, then 3 weeks, and now he gives an update once a month. But after about 6 or 7 months of having that Kickstarter open, he opened another Kickstarter, and then funded it, closed it, and then did the same thing. Every single time his developer blogs drop off, and by the time that you realize, oh, he's not going to give us any more like physical updates, then he opens up another Kickstarter. He's up to 4 Kickstarters now that he's opened and funded. So, I mean, this guy is obviously taking advantage of the Kickstarter system.
Yeah, that's not cool at all. Then there's the one guy that did Grand Fandango. I forget the guy's name. Where he just decided he didn't feel like making the game anymore, so he just took it down.
Yeah.
That was a thing. I was like, what
so
a jerk. Yeah, and he took all the people's money. I mean, he did use the money to make a different game, but that's not the game they paid for, and the game sucked. Whatever. But yeah, there's a couple good stories, like the Mighty Number 9 one, and Shovel Knight. That actually happened. It's now on practically everything. It's on the Vita, it's on the PS3, PS4, Xbox One, Wii U, 3DS, computer, so Mac.
Now there are tons of smaller Kickstarter projects that definitely deserve attention and praise. They're not coming to my mind right now because I was prepared for the big names, because I would definitely love to give them some shout outs, because I do really appreciate that. I know there's a lot of retro Kickstarters, like that new retro console, which was funded, where it's a new console with new games meant for indie developers. It's all cartridge based, and it's I think they said 16-bit. I think it's a 16-bit console. I'm not sure. I have to
so you can
pull it up
between
again.
16 and 8-bit games.
Funded, looks awesome. I'm definitely gonna have to check it out once they actually get a retail release, because I didn't back on that one.
Yeah, see, that's a fun project. I like that one.
Yeah, especially since, I mean, look at the
fun.
Neo Geo. The Neo Geo had a game release last year. That console has been around since the Super Nintendo days. Had a game release last year.
Supposedly one of the games they were trying to get rights for that Kickstarter was to get Shovel Knight on launch. Right?
Yeah, they were trying to convince the developers of Shovel Knight to do a cartridge one. I think a lot of them were
they've
successful.
Been open to the idea if they fun enough, if I remember right.
I know the creator of Battle Kid, he's putting his game on there, so at least I know there's one awesome game. I mean, Battle Kid it might not be Mighty Number 9 or Shovel Knight, but it's still a really good game. And the developer of Battle Kid is one person. Yeah, he was kickstarted. He's a really nice guy.
Oh, and then what's the one? That's the one that plays like Grand Theft Auto that came out.
Retro City Rampage.
That's on. Yeah, that's another one I got kickstarted.
That game's amazing.
One as well. So,
I like that game.
Yeah, that's a really good
I beat the crap out of that game. I don't know if I'll ever go through it again, but I love that game.
It's
the fact that you're
$5 right now.
The fact that you go into the sewers the first time in the game, and there's the Ninja Turtles, you got to kill them, and then like right after that, you're driving. Not too long after that, you're driving the Back to the Future car to go back in the past.
Yeah, he sees Doc. We gotta go back to the future.
Like seriously, like one of the cars you run into is the Scooby-Doo van. If you kill it, you hear a dog scream. I mean, like. It is a wild game.
So awesome. Dude, that guy was bored. I love it.
Yeah, I feel like there should be copyright infringement involved in that somehow.
Well, they're all generic versions of them.
He got the rights for all those things.
No, he didn't get the rights for them. They're parodies. They're not. You don't go up to them and they're not called like Wrath Mike and stuff like that. They all have different names or something that's changed slightly about them, so that way they follow the parody laws.
Yeah, but they're just similar enough to exactly what it is.
Yeah. Just
Shovel Knight does that quite a bit too, which is great.
Another really good Kickstarter game, Angry Video Game Nerd Adventures. That was good.
Oh yeah, that was Kickstarted, wasn't it?
Yes, it was. I love that game.
See,
it just came to Wii U.
It just happened.
I beat that game. That was a hard 3 days of gameplay. Like, that game is brutal and unforgiving.
He has a game. It's crazy that he has a game and it's on the Wii U.
So anybody listening or that listens to this later on, when you go on Smash Ballot for Smash Brothers, vote Angry Video Game Nerd. We need Angry Video Game Nerd in Smash Brothers.
Oh, that'd be great. The Angry Nerd. the Angry Nintendo Nerd is what they would call him in the game. I guarantee.
Oh yeah, that would be the best.
Let's go with his
and he'd
game.
obviously be wearing all of his accessories, like in the episode where he
Yeah, the Nintendo Zapper, the eye scope thing. Oh, the Power Glove. It's so bad, but it's so good.
It's so bad. It is bad.
Have you guys ever seen The Wizard? I know you have, Dan. Have you seen The Wizard, Jareth?
No, I have no idea what that is.
Okay, you need to go on Netflix and watch this.
Super Mario Brothers 3. Yeah, just watch it. It's a giant commercial for Super Mario Brothers 3, and it stars Fred Savage from Wonder Years. It's awesome. There's like a rival kid that's like the bad guy, and he uses the Power Glove. That's where that's where it got popular and stuff. He goes, "Oh yeah, the Power Glove.
It's so bad. It is bad.
Like, yeah, it's really bad."
Oh, those are some good memories right there. That was the debut of Super Mario 3. That was, homage to, the start of the Nintendo World Championships.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just so much.
Power
Ooh,
Glove.
did you see that? Did you see Nintendo World Championships 2015?
No, what?
You didn't see that? Google it. The 2015 is it's already kind of started, but is the new year for. They're doing Nintendo World Championships after
they're doing it again.
Yeah, yeah, no, they are, and they're doing it slightly different. They're doing it slightly different than before. You have to go to a Best Buy on a certain time on a certain day, wait in line. You put your time in, and then if you have the people with the best times are going to be are going to be entered into the Nintendo World Championships. And then there's I don't remember what the prize is. I'd have to Google it. But yeah, no, they're doing it again. But the game it's going to be similar. So in the original one, it was like Tetris. It was Mario, Rad Racer, and or is that it? Mario, Tetris, and Rad Racer was the original Nintendo World Championship on that card. I think so.
Well, it was Rad Racer. Yeah.
I know it was Rad Racer, Tetris. You had to score a Tetris. You had to get to a certain distance in Rad Racer. And it was Super Mario Brothers. You had to get the most. Was it the most coins? No, you had to beat the level the fastest. No, it was the number of points. You had to get the certain number of points the fastest. And that was interesting. They're doing that again. I just can't remember the 3 games that they're doing. But they're all NES Remix games, like ones from the NES Remix collection.
Nice.
They're challenges from those. Yeah, they're doing a collection of those, and there's 3 of them. You enter your score on the games. If your score is high enough, then you get to go to the Nintendo World Championships, basically. I'm really excited. I'm just gonna watch it. Obviously, I'm not gonna fight the crowds for Best Buy to get my spot in Nintendo World Championship because I looked at the prize and it wasn't anything. It's definitely focused to younger kids. So I'm definitely not really.
If I'm there, I'll attempt it just for fun. But
yeah, but you're gonna have to wait in line all day, and there's only, if I remember, it's only a 2 or 3 hour window to enter it. Once the 2 or 3 hours are over, they're cutting off the line. So if you're not there like in the morning when Best Buy opens, you probably won't be there to do the championship because I know there's some pretty big hype behind it. Yeah. Either way, I'm excited that something else old is new again, and that's fun.
I wonder if this is going to be in preparation for the Ready Player One movie.
Oh no! Oh no!
Oh snap! Spielberg, you're a genius.
Thanks for dropping a bomb on the podcast. You can't mention that name without.
We can have an entire episode on that book, by the way. You know that, right?
That book is just
absolutely.
something special right there. Oh.
It's almost a strategy guide for like 4 games. It's great.
Dude explains to you how to get
You don't know how to beat Black Tiger? Well, we'll tell you.
The guy completely explains to you how to get a perfect score on Pac-Man, how to 100% the game, what's required.
Yeah, which is ridiculous. I love it.
Nerdiest book I've ever read.
Everything from Back to the Future, Blade Runner, fucking Godzilla. So good.
And it's even got the Japanese references, which I absolutely love. Like Ultraman, it's fantastic.
Yeah, Ultraman does show up at the end. I forgot about that.
Time to God
I
mode
think Power
this.
Rangers
Boom!
did too, didn't they?
Yeah, they have a name drop for Power Rangers in the book as well.
Yeah, this is great.
It's like video game Willy Wonka is what that game is, but with a much more depressing premise.
Let's be honest though, guys. The most impressive Easter egg was at the very beginning. Family Ties with Michael J. Fox. It was. It was like the first thing he mentions. I was like, "Whoa, that's a random."
No, the reference that like got me is like where he finds the first clue that it's in the D&D module, and I was just like, what a better place to hide something isn't a dungeon.
People haven't read that.
You know what? They can go read it because at this point they need to have read it, and that's only the first clue. That isn't where the second 2 clues is. If you read the back of the book, it at least tells you that much. It doesn't tell you that it's in what D&D module.
Klein is the author.
Read the book.
Good job, guy.
It's on everything. That's its platform.
Yeah, literally. It's on Audible. The book isn't even all that expensive.
20,
You can get it for like $8
we'll be at that point in technology anyway.
You mean living in trailers stacked on top of each other? I don't think it takes much technology to do that.
Or the virtual reality presence where we'll be able to run in place.
We're getting close to that, man.
You talk to Sony, they think that's next year.
Yeah. They're getting close. We're getting closer and closer.
My Project Morpheus needs to come out next year. I'm just sad that my flagship game for it is no longer happening.
Yeah.
What was the flagship game?
One of the flagship games I wanted for it was Silent Hills.
Thank you, Konami.
That would scare the pants off of me.
Instead, I'm going to have to get first-person Call of Duty. Get shot by a 12-year-old camping in a corner in 3D on my face.
Yeah, if I was playing PT
that
close to my face, I'd be done.
Can you like every time he teabags, you just hear a small fap every time it touches your face. I don't play Call of Duty, but when I do, I don't want that to happen.
You just hear the kid, yeah, take it.
And you know that kid would have it perfectly memorized where the camera is coming out of the in like the headset, so he knows exactly where you can see. Like, yeah, it's gonna be right here, right here. Is that it? Yeah, you know that's it, because I can see the hate mail coming through.
You like it. What are you saying, Billy? Shut up, Mom.
I do like playing Call of Duty, but I don't like playing Call of Duty. We're going to leave that as the explanation. The community is something special.
So, just to throw it out there real quick before we move on to TV shows. Five Nights at Freddy's 4.
Oh, Jesus.
That's crazy. There's a 4th one already.
Yeah, but at least it's not the 3rd one.
The guy's awesome.
At least Scott isn't releasing it like a week after, or like an hour after he put the trailer up this time. He's giving us time to play the other games and
to catch up.
Yeah.
And he donated like his entire funds from the second game to charity, so it's not a cash. It technically is a cash grab, but it's a beneficial cash grab because he likes to donate to a lot of the charity. So
Yeah.
he's still writing the first one. Sure, you can make a fourth one. It's all on you. It's your time. If you want to make a fourth one, cool. I'll play it.
And
Probably not finish it.
from the little trailer
Don't be
they had
scared.
from the little trailer they had on YouTube and everything that's coming out about possibilities about the game, it really feels like this one might actually play different than the other ones, and you're not just completely stuck in a room.
Yeah, it looks like you're going to be hiding in different rooms. Which I was like, oh.
Because one thing we
I
know
don't
for
like-
sure is that it's definitely the phone guy. Pat was right, and it's not just the phone guy. He's also come back to life to haunt you and kill you, the security guard. Just from
and then the other enemies from the other games, I think, are on your side, trying to help you.
or that you're trying to save
It's
them.
kinda weird. Yeah.
Because a lot of people think that it's you are trying to help them this time. As in the third game, they were technically trying to help you, even though they were scaring the crap out of you and ruining your equipment.
All right. You guys want to talk about TV real quick?
Actually, I thought we'd go ahead and move
Yeah,
to
talk
the
about TV.
MMOs. Do you want to do the
Oh,
MMO
MMOs?
talk, or did you want to do the TV talk? Because I only watch one TV show.
And it's the only one worth watching that we're probably going to mention.
I don't care
so.
anybody that tells me Supergirl's good. I only watch Flash.
No, I'm going to tell you the opposite. I watched it. It was awful.
Oh, good. Give me a reason not to watch it.
It's just bad. It just makes you want to watch something with Superman instead. Like, characters are flat.
Yeah, that was
it's
bad.
cheesy,
I can see how people like it though, because it, like, from what people tell me about the storyline and when they talk about it and they're passionate about it, like it actually doesn't sound horrible. But the reason why I don't want to support it,
superhero.
the
but
reason-
I don't think I'm strong enough.
the reason why I have a hard time getting to it is because it's yet again another separate DC universe.
Yeah, that and it's also Supergirl. Which is like one of the lamest characters in DC.
I
Not
would
even DC knows what to do with her.
I would
They
really
haven't done anything really.
I'd really
Sure.
appreciate if it was if it would have been Power Girl instead. Power Girl doesn't get enough
Yeah.
justice.
Or even Wonder Girl.
Power
anything.
Girl's not even a
other
hero.
than
She's
Supergirl.
all over the place.
Freaking DC. I like DC. Don't get me wrong, but they need to get more hype train behind them, because that Batman versus Superman trailer, that was disappointing
yeah,
at
it
best.
leaked the day that the Star Wars trailer came out. How
It didn't
unlucky is
leak.
that?
That's the thing I keep getting over. You remember I told you that that movie convention was going on where they released all the trailers. When they said it leaked, what they really meant by is that it leaked from the convention. So it
Yeah.
wasn't like some dirty
But
move.
still.
It wasn't some dirty move. If you want an
It's
explanation
just that
behind it,
timing.
watch. Yeah, no, you don't compete with Star Wars. That's like here's candy, but there's cake over there.
Suicide.
Like you really like that cake.
And a full-on meal and everything, and cookies.
Where's the milk?
And Han Solo.
So, what'd you think about that cliffhanger at the end of Flash?
I felt like I was watching a show from the 1980s. Will the Flash save the world? Will he save all of his friends? What's happening next time? See you this fall. Call it a
Oh,
black
no.
hole.
I'm
It's my
gonna
shenanigans.
hear that when I watch that again.
Next time on.
If it's the Flash, though. I love the fun, how much fun the Flash is. That's the key word about that show. It's fun. It's so
Yeah.
much fun.
And like I said, that whole
There's
interview
so
and
many
that
skits
developer
critics.
thing, they said that the reason why the Flash is so successful is because they chose to not ignore the comic books.
Yeah.
They did not.
Nick Flash in the comic books is absolutely hysterical.
Yeah.
He's so witty
Yeah.
and full of jokes.
Plus,
Of course, that would translate over to the show.
because Vibe got his powers
Yeah.
finally, or it was announced that Vibe has powers, which is sweet.
Yeah, which is cool. I was like, sweet. We also got to see Killer Frost, which Caitlyn's gonna look like when she becomes Killer Frost. The episode was so emotional, it made me cry, me and my mom, because we watched that show together. It's like, oh no, this part with him and Joe, it's so emotional. And then the part with him and his dad, I was like, oh god. And then the part with his mom.
Yeah, that was
like,
that was
not holding it back. I give up.
that was the gauntlet of sad feelings.
It was so emotional, like it was so powering too. That was what made it so good. It's like, yeah, go do it, Barry. You're awesome.
Teaser about Jay?
What's that?
About what?
Anyone else catch the teaser about the original Flash, Jay Garrick?
Oh yeah, his helmet comes flying out of a freaking
his
portal.
Helmet. He goes, yes, time to go.
Like,
yeah.
that's how
dude,
that's how
sacrifice.
that's how things are going to crap when Jay Garrick's helmet just falls out of a portal. Like, oh, we might see.
Guys.
You know what though? We might see Dr. Fate because of it. Don't let
cool.
Don't let me be the only one excited about that.
Yeah, especially if
so powerful.
CW is able to buy Constantine. Oh, that would mix so well.
It isn't whether they're able or not. It's whether they want to or not. That's really what it comes down to.
The more they connect their shows, the more they're going to be successful.
Yeah, I honestly believe so.
Have been so awesome.
I am sad. I am looking forward to Legends of Tomorrow. I hope it's as good as Flash. I hope White Canary doesn't ruin it.
I like the actress though. I don't mind her in the
It ain't the actress. It's the effects of Arrow's writing. That's the problem.
Yeah, but only comic book fans are going to complain about it. The people who watched the show, that was the best. That was the most positive part of season 2. She was the most popular thing. That's why when they killed her off in the beginning of season 3, spoilers, she the ratings dropped dramatically. It's like, oh, well, screw this show. Oh, we're stuck with the actual Black Canary. Oh, great. She's not cool at all. Yeah. So yeah, Arrow season 3's finale is nowhere near as good as Flash. If anything, this made me more frustrated.
Yeah. I kind of gave up. I kind of gave up on Arrow. It kills me that every time that they have an Arrow crossover with Flash, and that they appear in the Flash, they're just so much better on screen with the Flash characters than even the Flash characters on the Arrow show. And I believe that's the writing.
It's the writing.
But it isn't.
The writing. Yeah.
It isn't that Arrow is so bad that it's below all the other shit. It's still better than Gotham. The only show that the only other DC show that I really truly like is Constantine. I really wish that didn't get canned, because that was a fantastic show.
It was getting good too.
You can't end the last episode. You can't end the last episode making the Spectre and then stop making the show.
Yeah, I was like, dude, they're gonna do the Spectre. Oh, the show's not happening anymore.
Because the Spectre is one of the most awesome DC characters.
Constantine is perfect in that show.
Yeah.
Oh, they finally got it right. Finally, I've been reading the comics for years.
They
never got it right. I love Keanu, but
they hinted at They showed Dr. Fate's helmet. They hinted at Swamp Thing. They hinted at Deadman, and it was like, oh, the Dark Justice League is all right there.
The League of Doom.
I love that there's a whole Justice League team that's literally just monsters. I love it.
I'd go as
really
far to
creepy,
say that
super gross.
I'd go as far to say that Constantine's a monster.
Yeah. See how many cigarettes that guy smokes a day? Nah, he's a pretty big dick. He's only doing good because he feels like he's obligated to. He's like, fine, I'll help.
Which he kind of is.
Yeah, because he's been sentenced to hell, so he kind of has to redeem himself. So yeah, I don't want to burn in all eternity in hell and suffer. I would like to go to heaven, or I would rather even go to limbo. No, that was a good show. Yeah,
So Dan, you wanted to move
Flash
to...
though.
Yeah, we were gonna do some MMO talk.
All right.
So my favorite MMO is My Little
Excited.
Pony. I mean, what?
Dan, you have
Screw
something
that
to share
noise.
with us.
It's all about Dora the Explorer, bro. We have to find stuff.
Everybody have an aneurysm at once.
You're all fired.
Oh man.
The face of MMO is about to change drastically.
Yep.
Because right now, there's just a flood of those free-to-play MMOs. And most of them are just trash trying to get your money, rather than being decent products. And a lot of them are just World of Warcraft knockoffs who are like, level system. What? But then you have...
Oh, you gotta pay us
that
money
other
if you want to
genuine-
get to level above 5. It's like, okay.
Let the grind begin. Oh, what do you mean I can't continue without taking 6 years to get past this level? I have to pay $20 for this stupid item?
Uh,
Or it's
Oh,
gonna,
hey, I
yeah.
left my dog
Or you gotta
outside.
keep killing bears and stuff in the forest.
yeah, you want to take care of that real quick. Wait on him for a moment.
MMOs. I'll just take my take on it. Like, there's also been a lot of disappointing MMOs, like big ones. Like, one technically Destiny kind of one, or is it
It's
kind of
social. Its social aspect and its free roaming aspect are MMO-ish. Not complete MMOs, but it's MMO. It's MMO-like. It was designed to mimic an MMO.
Gotcha.
But where Defiance was, it was an MMO.
Defiance.
I bought Defiance,
The
and you
show's
still had to
so
pay
better.
money for it.
Yeah, it's not.
So
Not
disappointing.
great. The show I hear is a lot better though.
But FPS MMOs are on the rise, and this is a good thing, because FPS MMOs have a lot of potential that is just untapped.
So
Yeah,
when
just
FPS
tapping
MMOs start dipping into the virtual reality world, I think things are going to jump to a whole new level. Because I've said for years, if I could use my hand-eye coordination that I have in real life in a video game, I'd be so much better.
I know, man. Ready Player
I want
One
to be able
is
to
gonna
swing
happen.
something and cut someone in half. I'm gonna be... Can you imagine it though? You're like, all right, this is our new education system. You're gonna sit in front of your computer and throw on some goggles, and this is how you're gonna learn today.
So, what was your favorite MMO of all time?
Of all time. Ooh.
Yeah, that you liked the most.
The most recent Star Wars one for me. It was actually pretty fun. The
Old
Knights of the
Republic.
The Old Republic.
The Old Republic.
Yeah, Old Republic. It's not called Knights. Yeah, it's Old Republic.
Just
yeah.
Old Republic, yeah.
Yeah, that one was actually pretty good. It had a little bit more to it than just being an MMO. It actually had a story and all that. And it was so much fun being a bounty hunter and a space pirate. Like, there was no reason to play a Sith or a Jedi. They were so boring in comparison.
Yeah.
It's like yeah,
Back in the
they're
day, I
stronger,
played.
but man, it's so much funner to play as the other two.
What about you, Jareth?
Back in the day, I played this fantasy MMO called Dark Age of Camelot, and this is back when MMOs were a new thing, along with like Ultima Online and
EverQuest.
EverQuest. And the characters, when they went too fast, it was like they were skating when they walked. And it was just a nostalgia thing.
Yeah.
Because that's the game I would play with my father and his friends. And he's like, you know what? You get your own account so you can raid this dungeon with us. And I was like, yay! And they're like, we need a healer. And I was like, oh.
You didn't get to be the warrior.
Yeah, so I was always the support class, and that actually groomed me today. So I always prefer to play the archer or the healer or some kind of combination. I'm never in the mix as the tank or the DPS.
My favorite MMO, I think, might be an odd one, but I know I've mentioned it before, but it is one that no longer exists. It got stripped off the internet, and the servers were shut down because of cheaters. And is Wizardry Online. Wizardry Online. That game was just like, I mean, like, I had played MMOs before, and I don't mind MMOs. I don't always get into them. But that game right there, that had something special. The draw of the MMO was that your character there was permadeath. It was kind of a roundabout way to die, like your character to be deleted, but it could happen. And this permadeath system spawned a bunch of different game mechanics. And that's what made the game unique. And the first game mechanic was how you come back to life. You don't just like respawn back in town. You don't just no. The game mechanic is your soul leaves your physical dead body, and you have to find your way back to the last spirit statue or scales of justice. I can't remember what they're called off the top of my head. And when you reach it, you meet the scales, and you have to balance the scales. The more you balance the scales, the more likely you are to revive without your character being deleted. If you fail the scales, like the luck isn't in your favor, I think it's like 2 or 3 times, then your character's permanently deleted. There's no whining or crying about it. Goodbye, everything that was on him is gone.
Yeah, you start over.
And that it's a brutal thought. But I mean, you have an overarching level. As a player, you have your own level. So that affects how fast you can level up your character. So when you did finally lose a character, it didn't take you an incredible amount of time to get that character back up to where it was at. The second thing the permadeath system spawned was the part of the game I thought was awesome, because crime and punishment in an MMO has never been more prevalent than in that game, and that's why it's sad that cheaters broke the game.
Yeah.
In that game, you have permadeath. You are allowed to attack at any time you want in the game another player. There are no safe zones. At all. You can be in the middle of town. They can be shopping. In their menu, you can attack them. But the moment you steal from another player's body, because you can't just steal from them like Skyrim style, where they're like sitting there and you reach your hand in their pants and steal their stuff. You couldn't do that. You had to wait until their bodies were lying on the ground, whether you knocked them out, killed them, or something else did, and then that would give you a point as a criminal. I think it was called a yellow aura. Now anybody can see the aura. When you get the yellow aura on you. If you killed another player or got a significant amount of stealing, then you became a red player. Red players that go red, everybody can see their level. Normally in that MMO, you can't see anybody's level. You have to guess based on what they're wearing. So attacking a player is risky to start with, because you never know what they actually are. They could have the most low-level gear in the game on, but they're max level and their gear doesn't really matter, and you're just maybe level 20 and decided that you wanted to be a jerk and attack somebody that was in a low-level area, but actually they're part of a guild just to bust players like you from killing. So that's the next part of the punishment, is you don't know who you're attacking or stealing from. You're marked, everybody knows it, and the town guards know it. When you're red, the town guards in town will not even let you shop in the normal stores without trying to arrest you. If you get arrested, you have to spend real life time in the jail. Like, your character in real life time has to sit in jail. Now, there is a way to break out, and if you break out, it doesn't absolve you of your crimes. You still have crimes, but you don't have to serve the time. Now, if you are a red player and you've killed a certain amount or gone to jail a certain amount of times, the game decides, time for the ultimate punishment. We can't deal with your crimes anymore if you get caught. If you get caught, you're put in prison, and you have a very short time to escape. There's an event that it's announced, and there's a public execution of your character. Of a guillotine, your character's head off. So, for being evil and not being good at it, you can die and lose your character. That was the most amazing part of the game. That, and it was one of the few MMOs I've played.
You told me about that.
Yeah, it's also one of the few MMOs that I've ever played to where your actual skill and positioning on the battlefield really matter. To where instead of enemy swings, you're in combat, you take damage, you can actually dodge the attack by looking where it's visually going to land and dodging it. And I really like that skill progression. Just the way.
I like the other Wizardry games too.
Yeah, Wizardry is a really good series. So even though the permanent death wasn't as brutal as it was in the other Wizardry games, the fact that it still existed, and there was a way there, and it dictated how the rest of the game worked, made it amazing. I mean, I remember there was a group, the My Little Pony twins.
So they pulled this off?
They pulled it off because people were cheating.
They took it off?
What happened is it had a free-to-play model. So, like, you could buy stuff they didn't help you, like, it wasn't, like, pay-to-win model. It was it was for visual and storage space and stuff like that that you could buy. In that free-to-play model, there was a glitch they couldn't patch. And the cheaters were able to buy the free-to-play stuff and add it to their inventories without actually purchasing anything. So Sony was losing money off of it. They weren't getting money off of it anymore, so they pulled the game. Wizardry Online. It's completely pulled. If you go to the Wizardry Online website, it says, "Sorry, thank you for participating in this awesome game, but this game is no longer available. Thank you for your support." And when I had finally decided to get back on the game after I went on a 4-month hiatus and saw that the game was no longer online, I almost burst out in tears because I was like, "You gotta be kidding me!" It's like the first MMO I am truly passionate about, and somebody ruined it for me. But if that game had kept going, it was going to be on. If that game had kept going, it was going to be on PS4. If it was going to be on PS4, then there would only been one game I'm playing for a really long time, because that game just had the best. I mean, you enter a dungeon, you have no idea what the monsters are going to do, and knowing that every time you enter a new dungeon, the higher level you get, the more the scales tip against you. Oh, I died this time, but I don't have enough items to save my character. Well, TS on that one, you just lost that character.
Hey guys, I'll be right back. I gotta step away.
Sure. So yeah, that was definitely my favorite MMO. Even though I really like Final Fantasy XIV and a couple of other MMOs, that is definitely my favorite.
Do you think Sony might pick that back up though?
Man, I would really hope so. I would really hope so, because I do like that game.
I want that to be a thing. Because the other Wizardry games were great.
Yeah, I do.
They're really good. Even the one that came out early PS2 was fun.
I really like that game. So
that's awesome. Though I mean the fact that the game.
I'll always have my memories of it.
Exactly. Yeah.
And there's a bunch of YouTube videos if you wanna like learn about it.
Yeah, actually, I will look that up because I'm actually kind of curious.
Like, just watch it.
That sounds like right up my alley. It's like, I killed somebody.
I'm
in trouble.
On top of everything, there was a bounty board. Like, if you were enough of a criminal, you got added to this bounty board. Every time somebody killed you or stole from you, the game would go, "Would you like to place a bounty on their head?" And then that bounty would be publicly posted on the bounty board. If you kill that character, then you got the bounty. So it was
solely as a bounty hunter. Which is
there was an entire guild of bounty hunters. After a while they stopped questing and they were just hunting criminals down. It made it hard to be a criminal. But I think the most successful criminal that was outside of like the criminal guild. Was these two
Yeah.
guys? They're the My Little Pony brothers. My Little Pony brothers. They YouTube live streamed every time they would go around killing players, and they were notorious on the servers. Like if you saw them on the server, you were just best to switch servers because your character level carried over between servers. You weren't locked to one server in that game, which is another awesome aspect of the game. But yeah, no, if you saw them on the server, you got off because most likely you're going to end up on YouTube as the next kill. So.
Ugh.
But eventually even they got caught and killed.
So they were the Jesse James of wizardry.
Yeah.
Wizardry.
There was just so much, and the fact that
awesome.
your guild could literally go between servers, and you could be across all servers, was just awesome. And there were different servers for town and for dungeon. So each dungeon had their own servers, multiple servers. The town itself had multiple different servers. So like if you were running into a lot of people that were jerking you around, you could just switch servers for a little bit.
Hold on. So it was a free-to-play game.
Yeah.
So it would have been one of the free PS4 games.
Exactly.
Oh man.
Yep.
Thanks, guys. Thanks.
Thank you,
I
cheaters.
really needed something to replace my Skyrim Fallout 3 craving. At least Witcher 3 is a thing. And Bloodborne. Those will do for now. I'm not saying those games are bad because they're both really good, but I'm just saying.
Oh yeah.
Oh man, I can't wait for E3.
Yeah, it's right around the corner.
Can't wait, Dan.
Literally around the corner.
I know.
Last couple years, I wasn't as excited as
like,
I am this year. This year, I'm actually really interested in what's coming around.
Well, because things are starting to finally pick up with the next gen.
I think next week we'll do a little prediction. We'll do a predictions. We'll do like a predictions episode and really break it down of what we think's going to happen and what we want and all the things we wish. So that way we can kind of compare it against what actually happens.
Oh, did you mentioning video? Did you see what the extra pre-order gift you get for Batman?
What?
You get the Batman Beyond outfit.
Oh, that was in City as well.
I was like, really? That's not fair. I was like, for those who's listening, I didn't order it, and I can't. I chose to get something else.
I might grab the pre-order before it's too late. I was like,
I'm more excited about that than the Harley Quinn side quest. I'm like, I love Batman Beyond.
What would be more impressive? What would be more impressive than a costume would be Batman Beyond playable as a character.
Oh, you get to be Terry McGinnis. Yeah, that'd be sweet. Maybe it is. It doesn't really have it. He does look smaller in size. He's not as bulky. So I
wouldn't hold my breath.
Yeah, probably not. Batman Beyond was like the coolest spin-off ever. So yeah. Jareth went to go fight somebody.
Yeah, he's on the streets.
I don't know where I was.
He's cleaning up the streets and taking names.
Yeah, because he's mad that he might not be able to play River City Ransom ever.
He's out there right now, jousting with traffic cones and headbutting people.
Yeah, I am really excited to play out the Bloodstain thing just because I have multiple devices that it's going to be on, and it just means I'm going to be able to play it. I wonder if one of the things they're going to try to port it to is the handhelds. I don't think they are. I think it's going to be too graphically the word? It's gonna be too much for the, well, at least for the 3DS.
I don't
Maybe
think
not for
so.
Vita.
I think it'll make it. I think it'll be fine on the 3DS. Because it's a. I mean,
Yeah.
I think it'll be fine.
Yeah. Well, we'll wait and see. It's
Considering
getting close to hitting its goal to be on the Wii U. So,
considering they're building it on a 3D
I mean,
engine.
it's yeah. It's. I'm really excited. It's. Hi. No, but I'm really excited at the fact that it's coming out for the PS4. And I've been wanting, like, that was my one regret, not having my 360 anymore, because I had since the end of the night, and that's my second favorite game of all time. I was like, man, I really need something to replace that. So when I heard that news, I was so ecstatic about it. And I didn't have to worry about it being funded, because literally in a day, it was not only funded, it hit over 1 million. It's like, okay. Cool.
For everybody in the chat, because I totally wasn't reading it. This is live. This is not a recording rerun. And same thing with the gameplay. The gameplay is totally live right now.
Oh, what game are you playing?
Currently, I rage quit on Tiny Toons because I rage quit on Tiny. We'll go with rage quit on Tiny Toons. And I'm currently playing.
Okay.
I'm totally playing Punch Out right now, and yeah, this is totally live.
All Punch Out?
Yeah.
Nice.
We are still live right now. We've been live for almost an hour. We're gonna be doing this every.
Video of Mike Tyson actually playing.
Oh
Punch
yeah.
Out?
Oh yeah. No, I definitely saw that. Him playing.
That video is hilarious.
He definitely.
Yeah, I'm hard.
He definitely could not win that fight. Neither would anybody expect him to. Like.
He goes, oh snap! I'm gonna bite my ear. It was so good. I'm hard.
You're more than welcome to follow us, guys. Please do. Please. Absolutely.
Yeah, we're going to do this every week. So.
Punch Out is hard, and Mike Tyson is brutal.
Yeah, because in the first round, if he punches you once, you fall.
Yeah, if you gotta watch out for that punch, man. Like you drop, and he has one. He has one.
That first round.
He has that one avoidable punch you actually have to prep for.
Yep. So ridiculous. Love it though.
You know what though?
I've never beat that game.
I've beaten it one time when I was 7. Like,
I memorized the code to get to Titan. And I think I got past Piston Honda. Man, it's been a while since I played it, so. Like,
sweet, thanks,
King
man.
Heppo's in it, right? Yeah, I remember beating him.
Easy Scare Care. Thanks for following us. And we will be doing this every single Wednesday at the same time. Might be a couple minutes off, but we will be doing this every single Wednesday, and we'll post something on the channel if we're not actually doing it that week. For whatever reason. We'll have definitely a reason. But next week, anybody that's currently watching has to be here. We're going to do an E3 prediction, and then as soon as E3 is over, the Wednesday after E3, we're going to be doing an E3 coverage episode as well. And if there's a game you want me to play, I have a very large collection of games. Not the biggest collection, but I'll be running those at the same time. Even though I might be talking at the same time, I kind of mindlessly play them. Oh no, you're in the hospital? Oh man, good luck. Oh, okay. Well, that's still not good. I mean, did you have to get your stomach pumped? Not to derail everything that's going on, but did you have to get your stomach pumped? Because that sucks.
You're not allowed to eat Play-Doh, guys, okay?
Well, that's disappointing news.
You walked into the guy in the chat. He's apparently has food poisoning. Is in the hospital. Which that
awesome.
just that sucks. So you definitely have our sympathy.
Should have not that sushi. I had to go to the
man.
hospital when I forgot what I ate at this particular place I've never heard of. Immediately had to go to the hospital. So bad.
Never had my stomach pump. I can honestly say that.
I have when I was really young because I didn't realize that the Flintstone vitamins were not candy, and they had iron in them.
All
I had to
right,
pump my stomach.
it happened at school. That's not cool. That's the safe place.
Oh, that sucks.
That's your safe place. That's supposed to be where good things happen, not where bad things happen, not hospital causing things.
Oh, whoa.
Oh man. Brutal.
I hate going to Twitch and they just automatically play like a video. It's like,
Well, that's why I keep bookmarks of where I need to go on Twitch, so that way it doesn't have to load that initial video and slow me down.
yeah.
Sue the crap out of your school.
Oh, is there food?
Yeah, it was school food that got him sick.
Oh no!
Sue the crap out of them. Sue them for all 15 cents that they didn't spend on healthy food.
My old man, he decided to make himself some pancakes one morning. Didn't realize that the box was about 1.5 years old.
Oh, jeez.
And had a little bit of mold in it, and he's incredibly allergic to mold. And he swelled up like Veruca Salt in Willy Wonka, and we just about went to the hospital for that one. He couldn't see, he was having a hard time breathing. Shoved Benadryl down his throat till he puked.
Yeah, I had a friend that found out he was allergic to peanuts after eating at an Asian place. Like, this is like way before they stopped using peanut oil when they cooked their food. Because that's a thing now. They don't cook any of their food anymore with peanut oil. They used to, though. And he swelled up, had to go to the hospital, and actually almost died. Scary stuff, man.
I believe at that point, peanuts are just considered poison to certain individuals.
Yeah.
And should be treated as such.
There's enough people in the world that's allergic to peanuts, so you got to stop cooking with it. I think the only thing you can't be allergic to, if I remember reading right, is white rice. It's actually rice. It's the only thing you can't be
white rice. Let's see, white rice. If I remember right, depending on how it's made, has gluten in it. So if you're allergic to gluten, then technically yes, you can be allergic to white rice.
Yeah. Well, actual like full-on rice, I believe you can. It's the only thing, like pure rice. Because believe it or not, there's people that's allergic to water. Do not want to be that person.
That would suck.
Dang, dumb nurse.
Alright, watch Dan get his butt whipped in my Punch Out. I love how much bigger the opponents are in that game.
Yeah, you're seriously
You really live
you're Little Mac.
Little Mac. KO.
Every time I play the Wii game and I play the verses and you turn into like the big version of Mac, I always want to call him Big Mac.
Big.
They put the special sauce on it.
Boys.
All right. What time is it? No.
It's gonna be about 6 o'clock.
Say we about time to call it pretty soon.
I believe he's streaming on an NES,
Yeah, this is on an actual NES.
right?
Yeah, this is on an NES.
Yeah, because you're actually using your cards. It would be a much easier with the emulator. I agree, but
Actually, it would be
cool.
since I'm running so many programs right now. It's actually easier to run it through my NES, through my Elgato. So
Yeah, true. I've got to. Oh, guy.
Oh, he is schooling you.
I was like not even. I was reading the chat. I got destroyed. Stupid Don Flamenco.
Yeah. Let's see.
Oh, he's landing the combos.
What's another thing I could bring up?
Well, no need to push it. I mean, we're going on about an hour and a half, so let's go ahead and bring it to a close. Guys, this has been the 8-Bit Apocalypse. I'm a clock. True Hegemon is playing Punch Out. We also got Nate. We'll see you next week.
Yeah, that was fun, guys. We do it again next week. Anybody want to follow us? We'll be doing it at the same time. Feel free to join us next week. We're gonna talk about E3 predictions, and it was really nice. I'll talk to you guys later. Any closing words, guys?
All right.
Good luck surviving the apocalypse.
Yeah. Hide under those tables, guys.
If you have better closing or outros for us, feel free to put it in the chat.
Later, guys. Wait for the stream to stop.
And it's offline.
All right.